Hello, and welcome back to the West Midlands Regional Cybercrime Unit YouTube channel. So in this week's video, we're going to be talking about romance fraud. So what is romance fraud? So Action Fraud defines it as scams that involve people being duped into sending money to criminals who go to great lengths to gain their trust and to convince them they are in a genuine relationship. So they do this by creating fake profiles to build a relationship with you. So this is known as catfishing. And then often use information they can find out about you from online, from your digital footprint to inform the scams. So, for example, if your social media profile say you're divorced or perhaps widowed, they'll use this against you. Criminals will use an assortment of techniques and tactics to gain your trust and to convince you you are in a genuine relationship and they do actually care about you. So they're then going to leverage this, appealing to your compassionate side to ask for money, but they'll do it in such a way that doesn't raise any alarm bells. So a common tactic to ask for money is they inform you that they need urgent medical care or you need to pay for transport for them to come and meet you from overseas. Then, of course, this money is not used for that purpose. So how can you spot romance fraud? So number one, you've met someone online and they declare strong feelings for you very, very early on after only a few conversations. Number two, they suggest moving the conversation away from the dating website or social media to a more private channel such as email, phone, or instant messaging. Their profile on the internet dating website or their social media page isn't consistent with what they tell you. They might perhaps be pretending to be someone else. Their spelling and grammar mistakes consistently, and the inconsistencies in their stories as well. And they might make claims such as the camera isn't working as a reason why they can't show you what they look like. They might refuse to video call or meet you in person for similar reasons to not using the camera because they don't want you to know who they really are. They might not be anything like look anything like what they are claiming to be. And the photos, when they provide it to you, do generally tend to be stolen from other people. And we'll talk about how you can figure that out in a couple of slides time. So number seven, you're asked to send money to someone you have not met face to face. So this could either be through a bank or money transfer or through the purchase of gift cards or presents such as phones and laptops. You may be asked to provide them with access to your bank account or card. So upon questioning your friend or family member, they may become secretive about their relationship. So this is if you know someone who might be in this situation. So when you're questioning them, they might be a bit secretive about it and provide excuses for why their online partner has not video called or met them in person. They can become hostile or angry and withdrawn from the conversation when you ask any questions about their partner, because these scammers they really get their hooks into people and make them really convinced that they do have this genuine loving relationship, and people who are in these relationships don't want to believe that they're fake and may just be completely unaware. So number nine, they try to persuade you to make an investment, often saying it's easy or guarantees high returns. This is a very common fraud tactic. I'm just going to go over a case study now from Take 5. So in this example, Emma signed up to an online dating website where she met an aid worker on duty in Iraq called John. So soon after befriending Emma, John told her that he'd recently lost his wife and brother to cancer, a story which is very similar and aligns with Emma's own past. So they've instantly got something to relate about. So they spoke nearly every day and they planned to meet in the UK. One day, Emma receives an email from John telling her that he'd been involved in an accident and he needed an urgent operation. It was a life or death situation. He told her he didn't have the money to pay for the operation and asked if she could send him £5,000. Emma agreed, and she sent the money through a bank transfer. Soon after Emma had transferred the money, John told her that he needed even more to cover the hospital bills and convinced her to send a further £5,000, assuring her that he'd pay her back when he arrived in the UK. John never contacted Emma again, and his profile disappeared, and he stopped replying to any of her messages or phone calls. So with romance scams, you always need to remember: avoid sending money to someone you've never met in person, particularly if you've only recently met online. Research the person you're talking to, as profile photos might not be genuine. So you can actually do this by uploading the profile picture of the person you're talking to into a search engine to check that these photos are not associated with another person or another profile. This is called a reverse image search. Be alert to spelling and grammar mistakes and inconsistencies in their stories. Stay on the dating sites and messaging service until you're confident the person is who they say they are, and meetings in person should always take place in a public place. Always consider the possibility of a scam. It's really, really important. Only accept friend requests from people you know and trust. Speak to your family and friends to get advice. And if you visit a website you think is suspicious, you can report it to the National Cybersecurity Centre. And finally, if you do believe you've fallen victim for a scam, contact your bank immediately on a number you know to be correct, such as one listed on your bank statement, on the bank's website, or on the back of your debit or credit card. Thank you so much for watching this video on romance fraud. For more information about it, please visit the Action Fraud website or the Take 5 website. And if you have been a victim of fraud or cybercrime, please contact Action Fraud and submit an Action Fraud report. As always, this video makes use of the latest Action Fraud and Take 5 guidance at the time of recording. Thank you so much for listening.